वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धया ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेता स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी
अपनी ही आत्माओं। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखार बिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है, और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
You can now slowly and gently open your eyes and know that you are special, unique, pure consciousness. All you have to do is to shine brightly wherever you go, to whomever you meet, and you'll be helping the world and the universe. Stay blessed.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, and a warm welcome to all of you. I would now like to invite our Guru Bhai Joshiji to please take it over from here. Joshiji, over to you.
Thank you, Brother Peter. You have been always helpful to start a wonderful program. Thank you again. This time I will request very dear Brother Geeta Bhai Nanda Kapurji to please send us some chest of medicine to help us spiritual growth. Thank you. Nandaji, unmute your. Kapurji, you can begin. Thank you.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Ayato Vishyan Pumsa Sangarsteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate Krodha Bhavati Sammoha Sammoha Smriti Vibhrama Smriti Brahmashat Buddhinashu Buddhinashat Pranashyati Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshicchami Ma Shucha Ahankaran Balandarpam Kamam Krodham Parigraham Vimuchya Nirmama Shanto Brahma Bhuya Kalpate. By the invocation of these selected verses from Srimad Bhagavad Geeta, we pay our homage to our great Guruji Swami Hariharji Maharaj, who taught us the wisdom of Srimad Bhagavad Geeta. Before we came in contact with this great man, we were novice. We didn't know anything about Srimad Bhagavad Geeta. He infused in us and surcharged each and every iota of our body and transform us into a divine person. And since then, we have been sharing the thought of Srimad Bhagavad Gita according to his instructions. Today, I would like to share with you, with utmost humility, one of the profound verses embedded in chapter 15, verse 15. It goes like this. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Arshita Pran Apan Samayukta Pachamainam chaturvidham. Most of the time we think Bhagavad Gita is a abstract science. And people talk many things in that form. But Bhagavad Gita is a day-to-day life also. And in this particular verse, Bhagavan Shri Krishna emphasized that how to live daily life on this tiny planet as a visitor. The literal meaning of this verse is that aham vaishnaro bhutva praninam deham arshita, that I am the digestive system in this human body, combined with the life force, pranapan, and then it is my responsibility, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, that I digest 4 forms of food which the person consumes. So this was the literal meaning. But what does it mean? There's a lot of clinical and medical information available about the human body. But this is the spiritual wisdom coming out of Srimad Bhagavad Gita from the lotus lips of Lord Krishna. And it has to be believed. It is not contrary to this scientific research in the form of clinical research and biological research. It coincides with that. The wisdom here we are talking about is that Bhagavan Shri Krishna says that I am the digestive system in the human body. So if it has to be correct, you cannot doubt it. So if Bhagavan Shri Krishna is the digestive system in your body, then as a prudent person living as a visitor on this planet, what type of food I should eat? Garbage in, garbage out. So what type of food I should, so that the functionality of Bhagavan Shri Krishna in the form of digestive system should do less work. So the meaning in between the line is, be very watchful what you eat. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, they have defined 3 types of foods. So if you want to sit near the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, you have to develop, sustain, and nourish sattvic food. Give this body the sattvic food, because it goes to Lord Krishna in the form of digestive system. So don't eat garbage. Don't eat violent food. Any type of violence hidden, what we consume is a dark energy. It blackens your soul inside out. So don't eat. Eat sattvic food. And they have defined what is sattvic food. And everybody knows what is sattvic food. Eat vegetarian food, freshly cooked, plant-based. There's a lot of research these days going on, vegan food. So it is our responsibility, if you want to be healthy on this planet, eat sattvic food, eat vegetarian food, eat plant-based food, where there is no violence at all. And then control your timings. You should not be eating all the time. Discipline yourself. It takes 4 hours to digest whatever you eat at a given time. So make a space of 4 hours before you take another meal. Develop a self-discipline, because until and unless the body is healthy, the mind is also not healthy. We say the other way around, that mind is the king of the body, but it is replaceable also. Body is also, if the body is sick, the mind is sick also. So you have to take care of your body by taking the right food, right intake. And in computer language, I just said one sentence, that garbage in, garbage out. So don't put garbage, because it has to go to Lord Krishna in the form of digested form. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna gave you this scientific approach also, that pran apan, that is the life force, inhaling and exhaling, that is the life force. Digestive system combined with the life force. When these two happens, whatever you eat, it is digested. So now how to check it, that this system is working the way Bhagavan Sri Krishna is asking us to do. When your both nostrils are working, most of the time, if you check yourself, everybody can check his or her own. Most of the time, one nostril is working. But you have to find the technique through yoga and meditation, how to develop this art, that before you eat, your both nostrils, which is the life force, must be working at its optimum level. At that point in time, if you eat anything, it is digested. And this is the wisdom in this particular verse. Pran, apan, samayuk. When both are working at optimum level, it is combined with the digestive system. So whatever you eat at that point in time, it will be the amrit. It will be transformed into divine food. This is what Bhagavad Gita is applicable on a day-to-day life for an ordinary person and for everybody else. Practice this art. It is not a theory. If you want to be a spiritual person, you have to watch your diet. Because healthy body is conducive for spiritual discipline. Otherwise, there is a hell lot of suffering. If you want to stay away from the suffering, stay healthy and follow the instructions in chapter 14, verse 14, chapter 15, which I just narrated. Aham Vaishpunaro Bhutva Praninam Deha Marsta Pran Apan Samayukta Pachamainam Chaturvidam. There are 4 types of food in this whole world, what the human body consumes. One is we drink, like water, juices, anything, drinking form, liquid form. The other is we chew. Any type of food which you are chewing, that also goes to the digestive system. Then like a chutney, you are licking it. And like a sugar cane, you are, उसको कहते हैं चूसना, गन्ने को आप चूसते हो. So these 4 types of foods are digested through this process. Through this process of embedded in this particular verse. So let us practice at our own level through the technique of meditation and yoga. Pranayam. Do pranayam on a daily basis so that you develop this art, that you both the nostrils inhale and exhale pran, apan, which is the life force. You need the life force working at the optimum level when you eat something. Otherwise, it will not be digested. So be watchful. This is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. In order to become a spiritual person, you got to eat the right food. And these days, there's so much diseases, so much immune system has been compromised. People, they are suffering. If you look around, thousands of hospitals came into existence. It was not like that. Nursing homes, assisted homes, and people living there, they're just a vegetative state, just living, waiting for the final call. Stay away that misery and eat the right food under the direction of this particular verse. Be qualitative. Eat quality food, eat less, and discipline your time. And become healthy. Once you are healthy, your mind is healthy. You think healthy. Your thoughts are healthy. It is up to you. You are the making and marring of your own personality. There is no blame. We open our mouth and with two hands we put in. Be watchful if you want to be a spiritual person and a serious student of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. You got to. It's a condition precedent that you have to watch your food, and the quality of the food must be vegetarian. There's no ifs and buts. People make their own rules. Let them make. But you become the change. When you talk with conviction because you have the force, you have practiced that art. So my humble request to all the listeners and all the participants and all the Gita lovers, watch your food, control your food, and bring the quality and timings. And don't eat garbage. Don't eat toxic foods. Pure, simple, sattvic food. When you will do that, you will become sattvic. You will become sattvic. And condition precedent of a sattvic state of mind is you are very conducive to consume the divine thoughts. Otherwise, it will not happen. It will never happen. Watch the people who have reached that level. We have seen our Guruji, and there are a lot of eyewitnesses on this platform at this point in time. We have seen with our naked eyes what was his food. We have to follow that. If we are a serious student of Bhagavad Gita, and if we want to purify our journey on this planet as a visitor, it is a serious business. We don't take it seriously. We read so many things, but this is the first step. It's like washing your hands. If you don't wash your hand, does not matter what you eat, everything is dirty. So my humble request and encouragement to all our brothers and sisters to start eating pure, plant-based, vegetarian food and develop the art of meditation and yoga and practice pranayam so that your pran, apan are working at optimum level when you want to consume something at your own will. With these thoughts, I once again appreciate the efforts of Peter ji, Geeta Bhen, Joshi ji, and my dear friend who are listening to this. Prasad ji, you are the backbone of this platform. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Very well described, Prabhu Sahib. Jaisa an, vaisa man. Jaisa man, vaisa samsara. And to talk about this particular verse, very, very powerful verse you have chosen today. We have all seen Gurudev, what he used to eat. Boiled vegetables, milk, very limited quantities. And he was one of the healthiest amongst all of us. So well taken the topic. Thank you very much, Kapoor Sahib. Secondly, is a Pitr Paksh going on. And I request all of you to do more Bhagavad Gita parts. Feed the poor, go to temples, at home meditate, and think about our ancestors. Because of them we exist, our fathers, forefathers. So very, very powerful timing. So let's use it to meditate on our ancestors and thank them for what they have given to us. At this time I request our profound respected Dr. Umapati Prasadji to please take the class and teach us verse by verse in a very detailed, analytical way. You are the only one who can do it. So please take it, Dr. Sahib. Thank you. You can take the screen and move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So can I go till 7 or when do you want me to stop?
Have a concept clear so you are okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joshi ji, for your introduction, and Narendra Kapoor ji for excellent explanation of the verse 14 of chapter 15. Prayer to Lord Sri Krishna. Vansi vibhusita kara navanir dabhat pitambara darunabimba phaladharostat purnendu sundara mukha Arvindanetrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane Ajnanitimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Last week, I was able to conclude explanation on verse 10 of chapter 4. It took quite a long time. And that was a marvelous mantra, verse. You see, before I say mantra and verse, you see, Maharaj Ji once told us that श्लोक बोलते हो, verse बोलते हो, ये सब मंत्र है. He laid emphasis on the verses we explain to say that they are not just verse, they are not just sloka, they are mantra. And you all know what is the meaning of mantra. Manaha trayati iti mantra. मन का त्राण कर दे. ये मंत्र ही तो, मन ही तो है जो हमें अपना, मेरा मित्र भी है और दुश्मन भी है. This man itself is the one which takes us, lifts us, elevates us, and releases us from sansara and get accommodated into Bhagavan with divine. And the mana itself is the one which also is responsible for our decline or demise. So Maharaji said, every sloka of Bhagavad Gita, take it as mantra. And every mantra has the capability to lift you up. It will never let you down. To pick any verse. And he used to give example, as everybody knows, of Mahatma Gandhi, how he used to, when he had any issue to solve, he will just open up Bhagavad Gita page, find the slok one here or one there, and get the problem totally resolved. From practical experiences, we all have gone through and realized the power of each and every mantra. When we read one mantra, we understand one way, but there is another way also to understand the mantra. And that's what I will explain in the verse which I am taking up today. And the verse is verse 11 of chapter 4, where Bhagavan says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyam mama vartamanu vartante manusya partha sarvasaha. The meaning, the plain meaning is, according to the manner in which they approach me. Lord has been talking about Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Puta Madhbhava Magata. If you remember the previous verse, Lord has talked about that the teachings, what I am telling you, it is not just a theory, not just to give you a knowledge, but those who have practiced that, those knowledge they have adopted in their life, Bhavo Jnana Tapsa Puta Madhbhava Magataha, they have all reaped the benefit of all those instructions or teachings which I have imparted, and following those teachings, they have ultimately reached me. So he is referring to those Bahavo Jnana Tapsa. And then he says, there are others also. So all of those, they, when we say ye, mam prapadyante, tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. The manner in which they come on to be, approach me or worship me, I accept them, I favor them in that very manner, O son of Partha. And then the second line is Mama Vartama Nuvartante Manusyah Partha Sarvasaha. Human being follow my path in every way. Now, there are several things in this verse which one has to take into consideration. Like when we say prapadyante, what does it mean? And you see, beautifully, it has been given an approach within bracket worship. That means you take the word prapadyante as somebody approaches me, or you take it as somebody worship me. You see, commentators have used this verse, and particularly the word prapadyante, to mean either they are approaching Bhagavan or they are surrendering to him. And I will give you both sides of approach made by commentators, and we have to understand both are correct, both are excellent, super. Both are to be understood and followed. What Bhagavan is saying, this word prapadyante has come only 4 times in entire Bhagavad Gita. When you go through Bhagavad Gita, you will find this word prapadyante appearing 4 times. One is this verse 11 of chapter 4, and 3 times in one chapter, chapter 7. And I have tried to put that before you to see for yourself what actual meaning of prapadyante with reference to the other verses as well. Here, there is some question and there is some double meaning given here. But when you look at other verses, the meaning is one and one alone. Let us have a look at that before we come to the explanation of this verse. If you look at verse 14 of chapter 7, Lord says, Daivi Haisha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Lord says, I'm not explaining this because that will take a long time. I'm just giving the plain meaning, just to emphasize the word prapadyante and what it stands for. In this verse, Lord says, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya. My divine Maya, Daivi Maya of mine, Gunamai. It is constituted by Guna. It contains Maya, is Prakriti, it has Guna. And that Guna, because of the presence of Guna, it is very difficult to cross over this Maya, go beyond Maya. Therefore, he says, Mamev ye prapadyante. Those who take refuge in me alone cross over this Maya. If somebody is to cross over Maya, go beyond the gunas, then if he takes refuge in him, he takes the responsibility of letting him go beyond the effect of Maya, beyond the Maya, and be one with me. So that is the meaning of this verse, where word prapadyante has been taken as take refuge in me. That is surrender unto him. The word here, refuge, surrender. And this is for those who surrender in me. Those who do not, who are those people who do not surrender or do not take refuge in me? Bhagavan says, Namam dusakritano mudha prapadyante naradama Mayaya Partagyana Asuram Bhavamasrita. These are the people who are foolish people. Mudha, they are the foolish people. Duskritano, evildoers, who are most depraved, naradhama. Depraved is vrashta person. They are among the men, maya paritagyana. Those wisdom has been deprived. They are all deprived of. There is bunch. I saw the word depraved and deprived at the same time. This has to be differentiated. This is deprived, that is vrashta, and deprived, that is banchit. They are devoid of wisdom. They do not take refuge in me. Again, the word prapadyante has been taken as they refuse or surrender. In other verse also, kamaistai hritagyanah prapadyante nyadevata. Those people who are deprived of their wisdom because of desire for various objects, they resort to other deities. So the nutshell in this verse, which we are trying to explain, is that Bhagavan here is saying that those who surrender unto me, I also deal with them in the same manner. Now, the other line, you see here, Bhagavan is saying, they surrender unto me, and I give back the same to them. While the other line where it says, Mama Vartamanu Vartante Manusya Partha Sarvasa. Mama Vartamanu. That is, the way I deal with people follow me. So this is more or less opposite of the interaction between them and me and them has been explained in this verse. How when people come to me with something, I give them. The other is what I do, people follow that. So the interesting disposition of the two sentences in this verse, beautiful. It gives both how one presents themselves to the Lord and how Lord presents himself to them. Now, when we look at the word yatha tatha. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tas tathaiva vayamyam. That means yatha, the use of word yatha and tatha. Excuse me. In Bhagavad Geeta, there are many places Bhagavan has used this yatha tatha. And there are at least 7 verses where it starts with word yatha. He starts with word yatha kasastito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matasthani padharaya yatha tatha yatha sarvagatam somakshat akasam nopalipyate sarvata vastodehe tathatma nopalipyate yatha prakasyateka krishnam lokrimam ravi kshetram kshetri tatha krishnam prakasayati bharata. The 11th chapter, Jatha nadinam bahavo mubega samudrameva abhikat dharanti. Then Jatha pradiptam joranam patanga. So what I'm trying to say, that Bhagavan, when he wants to compare something with that or give an example of river, of sky, of air and vayu, then he makes the example. He gives example to make it simple for ordinary people, ordinary readers to understand. So many places Bhagavad gives Yatha Nadinam Bahavo Vivega, how river is flowing. So he has given, take this Yatha Tatha to explain simple way or simplify the way by example. Giving an example, it makes the thing simple for people to understand. Now, let us take this question of Prapadyante. So Bhagavan says here, Je Mam Prapadya, whosoever surrender unto me, whichever way, जिस तरह से भी वो मेरे शरणागत होता है, जिस विधि से, that means it is question of path of perfection chosen by the seeker, because the path of perfection which seekers follow, they can follow any path. Whichever path seeker may follow, Bhagavan says, I accept them. Whichever way they approach me, whichever way they surrender unto me, मैं उसे उस तरह से शरण देता हूं. If you surrender unto me, I take it that way. Whichever way you do, you may follow sadhana. साधक किसी भी साधना को व्यवहार करके, he can follow any route. Ultimately, the things will go to him. He will be the one who will receiving the ways people worship him. He will accept that in whatever way they perform their ritual or whatever they perform. But the point in it to be undertaken, point to be considered here, that when they surrender to any deity, for example, and if you consider that deity to be him, or he is, while surrendering to any deity, he considered that to be me, I accept that to be coming to me. He says here in one verse, chapter 7, verse 21, he says here, Yo yo yam yam tanum bhakta sadhaya titumikshati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyam. The question of the form, the path of perfecting, or the form of the deity which they follow, these may differ. They may approach him with different way, or maybe approach them through different deity. As long as there is Shraddha for me, I strengthen that faith which is his offering to the deity, as if he's offering to me. The whole thing is, whatever comes to in the way of worship or in the way of other sadhana, whatever the attitude, it is the question of bhava of sadhaka. It is his aim, what he wants, whether he goes flat down onto that, or he prays by silently sitting at some place and then offering himself onto whatever way he is offering, that doesn't matter. What matters is how he is surrendering onto me, either directly or through a deity. All those bhava I will accept, and I will honor that. I will accept that. मैं शरणागत उसका ग्रहण करूंगा. And a very beautiful verse has been mentioned in this regard, where it says, Akasat patitam tuyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha kesavam pratigacchati. This is not from Bhagavad Geeta, but this is a very common, a very familiar verse, which indicates, just as Akasat patitam toyam, from the sky, whatever water falls, yatha gacchati sagaram, ultimately it reaches the ocean. Sarvadeva namaskara, Kesava, whichever deva with deity you salute or you offer salutation, it all goes to Lord Sri Krishna. Kesavam pratigacchati. Now the rain may fall directly onto the ocean, may fall on the hill, on the trees, and take its route through a river and then go to the ocean, or the water may percolate, goes down into the earth, gets soaked from there, and from underground water, it ultimately reaches the ocean. Now that all those routes may be different, maybe one easy, maybe one tortuous, and what difficult or takes longer time. All those things become irrelevant. Ultimately, the water reaches the ocean. इस जीवात्मा का परमात्मा से मिलन, that is the goal of every human being. Once you take birth, there is this one Jivatma. This needs to get out of this pinjara, of this cage, and be one with Brahman. That is Toyam reaches the ocean. That is the Jivatma, here and there. It has to, the path taken by them ultimately reaches the destination, and that destination is Brahma. We have to become Brahma and be one with him. When we talk of the path taken by or the way people prapadyante, the way people worship, the way people, that varies. How they vary, we all know. We have gone through, I don't think we have gone through this chapter. We will go through this chapter later on, but this is a very, again, for Gita Premi, you all know this verse very well, that how Bhagavan says that there are 4 groups of people who worship me. Chaturbidha bhajante mam, janah sukritano arjuna, arto jigyasu arthati jnani cha bhartar sabha. Before that, we knew there is a group which is a duskritanaha, wicked people. Namam duskritano mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya partagyana asuram bhav. They do not worship me. Those who are duskritano, they do not worship me. But sukritano, here Lord is talking about not duskritano, but sukritano. That they are the 2 groups of people. You see, in Bhagavad Geeta, Bhagavan has divided human being in several ways and several ways he's talked about. You know the 3 gunas, very common division of whole humanity, whole people. The Satoguni, Rajoguni, and Tamoguni. Then there is another 2 groups he talks about, Devi Samprada and Asuri Sampada. Those with the demoniac attributes and those who are divine attributes. So that's another one. This is the one we are talking about, Duskritano and Sukritano. Duskritano are the wicked people, while Sukritano are those people who are on the right track and they are looking towards Bhagavan. But among these also, Sukritano will not, that is completely taken off. They are gone. They are not the people who they don't worship me. And he says, I do not want them to worship also. That's one part. Then the other part is those who are Sukritano, those who want to worship me, but their way or their path towards me, the purpose for which they worship me may be different. And that's what in this verse Lord talks about, and we should also go a bit into it. He says, Chaturbidha bhajante mam janah Sukritano Arjuna. Who are those four groups? Arto, Jigyasu, Arthati, and Jnani. You know, there is another way of looking at them is the Dharma, Arth, Kam, and Moksha. These are the paths. These are also the categories of people. We call it Purusartha. So those four types of people who are, again, Dharma, Arth, Kama, Moksha. I don't want to go into that at the moment. You know already, you know that. But let me talk about those bhajante. Geeta Ma'am, we are talking of bhajante, those who are the people who are bhajante, those who are, you see how vast the knowledge is of our Shastra. The thing is so vast, so huge. The more you go into it, you may get lost. But let us confine ourselves to limited understanding first, and then you can extend subsequently. Here, Lord is talking about the four types of people जो भजते हैं, who worship me. They have different idea in them, in their mind. They have seek for certain purpose. They want to achieve certain things, and that's how their way of approaching me are different. It talks about those who are artha, who are distressed people, those who are in distress. They want to get rid of the problem which they have. So they approach Bhagavan to getting that particular kind of distress which they are suffering gone. And there's nothing wrong in it. In fact, vast majority of those people who go to the temple or go for worship and go through the tapa and to go through tirtha, and all those people, vast group of people, they pray Bhagavan. At least they pray Bhagavan. Even if there is an intention of getting some benefit for their own self, for family or society, whatever it is, they may have certain desire to fulfill. Even those people who go to temple and seek redress for their problem are much better than this group of people who are duskritano. They do not think of Bhagavan at all. So these are, although Artha people are the lowest grade of people जो भजते हैं मुझे, सबसे नीचे तबके के हैं लोग, but यही बहुत बड़ा तबका है. Vast majority of people belong to this group where they come to me to get rid of certain problem which they have. They are artha. And beautiful example we have of Gajaraj, you know, elephant and Graha. I do not want to go into that. We know, you also know the story of Draupadi. So these are the burning example of those who were in deep distress, and Gajaraj was going to be killed and the Draupadi was going to be disrobed. They cried out and Bhagavan came and took care of their problems. Then there are those who are seeker of knowledge, artho, jigyasu. They want to know. They may not have that much of Shraddha for Bhagavan, that much as those who are Narada or Prahlada or the wise people. Jnani, they may not be Jnani, but jigyasu. They want to know. They want to know from Bhagavan more, or they approach Bhagavan to know, get some more knowledge. And we are aware of Uddhava and Parikshit, who are in this list of approaching Bhagavan for seeking knowledge, for gaining knowledge, to improve their knowledge, to understanding. And Uddhava Khan, his story is very beautiful. I keep laughing sometimes how he approached Bhagwan and how Bhagwan told him, go to Vrindavan and see Radha and Gopi there. Anyway, I will not go in the story. Then there are those who are arthati. They seek wealth. Particularly, there are example of Sugriv and Bibhishan is there. The story about Bibhishan is a bit interesting. That Bibhishan was Ravan's brother, and he was only one person in Lanka who was having a spiritual inclination. And when he was with Ravan, and Ravan was all kinds of planning he was doing to get Sita and kill Rama. There itself he said, I wanted to have the kingdom. I would like to be king in your place, Ravan, and I would have done this, I would have done that. He had expressed his desire, wish, and Bhagwan Ram kept that thing in his noted that wish of Vibhishan when he spoke to Ravan before he met Bhagwan Ram. But as you know, when he met Bhagwan Ram, he surrendered himself onto Bhagwan Ram. But Bhagwan Ram told him that it is your desire to be the king, I will make you king. So he was made king of Lanka when Ravan was killed. So we have the wise people, the Jnani people, Narada and Prahlada are burning examples. They are the highest grade of people who bhajte hain, wo bhi bhajte hain, और आर्त जो है वो भी भजता है. One is praying to get release from himself, get rid of bit of vasana if there was any, or there remains any. They want to get rid of little bit of that impurity to be one with Bhagavan, while the artha wants to get rid of for the personal self, or personal distress, or personal discomfort, or personal problems they want to resolve. So that is the difference between the various types of devotees who pray me. But when they approach me for that purpose, I also give them the same thing. Not that Draupadi will be given kingdom of Lanka. It was Draupadi wanted X. That X was taken care of. Sugriva wanted kingdom. Sugriva was given the kingdom. So the difference in approach is different. But from Bhagwan's side, there is no difference in his approach of redressing the issues or taking care of the problems which they approach them. So on the part of, this is on the part of the seeker. There is conditioning, and this conditioning may vary, whatever may be the variance here and there. As far as Bhagavan is concerned, on the part of Bhagavan, there is no variance. He pays heed to all the issues and take care of all of this, because Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, he is the Suhrida of everyone. He is the friend of all beings. He has no favoritism for anybody. There's no special favor for anybody. Everyone is taken care of the way they approach him. The story of Sulabha and Sabari, I want to mention here. Sulabha, as you know, is a Vidurain. He's the wife of Vidurji. And Sabari, of course, was Bhilani. So what a great difference between the level of these two persons. Sulabha was a wife of Vidurji, who was, of course, in his kingdom and his palace and all those things were there. He was having the one level, while Sabari was a Bhilani, and but both of them were bhakti. Both of them had tremendous regard for Bhagwan. They didn't have any personal wish to resolve. They just want Bhagwan ka darshan. जब विदुराइन गई खाना खिलाने के लिए, So we all know Duryodhan ke meve tage, saag vidur ghar khaye. That we bhajan that we sing. When Lord was eating, see what I'm trying to make a difference. Lord is eating. Eating where? At the place, the palace, where Bidurain was giving him something to eat. And what Bidurain was giving was chilka of banana. The skin of banana is skin. And what Bhagavan was doing? Kept on eating without any thinking what he was being offered. And Bhagavan did not look at the banana skin which he was eating. His eye was on the faith and Shraddha and Vishwas, जो Bidurain के हृदय में चल रहा था, that bhav, he was taking that bhav, and with that bhav, he did not bother what was going on in himself. So, and here also, jhuthe bear, the bear which villainy has tasted before. हम लोग झूठा करते हैं, झूठा तो अपने में आदमी दूसरे को नहीं देते हैं. तो भगवान राम पहुंचे हुए हैं, भगवान राम को आप झूठा कैसे दे रही हैं? लेकिन प्यार, भगवान की श्रद्धा, विश्वास और प्रेम, there is no value for that. And for that, Bhagavan gladly took that jhuthe bear and he kept on taking that. So there is no, so far Bhagavan is concerned, there is no variance. Whoever approaches him the way he wants, he comes to that. Looks like I have an indication to stop here. Can I go on or stop?
We are running at the end, Dr. Prasad.
Okay. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna. Jai Sri Krishna. We can continue next week. Thank you. Jai Sri Krishna.
Jai Sri Krishna, thank you. I wanted Dr. Prasad ji to go all the way to complete the concept. We had a very, very good session today. Kapur Sahib was very, very good in terms of selecting a very powerful verse. And Dr. Prasad ji used that word very, very beautifully at 4 places. And yes, Lord Krishna says, if you worship Lakshmi, you will get money. You worship Hanumanji, you will get strength. But as you worship me, you will get everything. Made a very clear, straightforward approach, worship me. And my dear friends, in 45th verse of 2nd chapter is very clearly mentioned. I will keep it short because I have to conclude in 10 minutes. We have to be away from Maya by understanding the Maya. Everything that we experience, we think, we feel is Maya, and that is asat, that is changeable. Anything that you can find which is permanent is sat, and that is Sri Krishna, that is Brahma. And our job on this face of the earth as a human being is to find that truth, that sat, so that we can understand Sri Krishna and merge with him, become him. That is the goal that we are sent on this face of the earth. I will continue my talk next week and end by talking on Gita Mahatmya because it's necessary to know. I want to make a very big request. This Saturday, all of you must have gotten the link for the Conference of Spirituality in Columbia University, New York. Please log in earlier, and when time comes, you will come on the screen right away. Also, at this point, I want to request my very dear brother Peter. He mentioned something about Gita Ashram of Canada and made a request in your website how to find the characteristics of a given shloka for given virtue. I will request Peterji, if you can take a minute to end the program. I am on your website of Geeta Ashram, how to go in detail for that particular part. You are muted.
On our website geetaashram.com, navigate to Geeta Ashram Canada,
Yes.
and then over there you will see, just go through the first page. It'll take you to the next page to continue. There it has got all the index over there.
Okay.
Bhagavad Geeta index, Geeta Mahatyam is there, Geeta discussions are there. This was in the 90s when we used to do that. In that you'll see Geeta index and Geeta, quick reference to Geeta,
Okay.
Bhagavad Geeta.
I will
So just
be-
click on those two links. Yeah, everything is there. I mean, in those days, the website is quite old and outdated because we launched this website as a Shraddhanjali to Gurudev when he left us in 2000. It was our 25th wedding anniversary.
I
25th
want-
wedding, yeah.
Yeah, I want
It was
to
our
make
25th. Yeah,
anniversary,
it
yeah.
was. Yeah, 20. We did that on our 25th wedding anniversary, and the whole family got together. Sanju, Amit, Rakhi, we all collectively worked on it, and we launched the site as a Shraddhanjali to Gurudev.
It's there. They don't do anything. I am on this website. I see everything. They don't do anything. I wanted to bring this particular website to the audience today. It looks very expansive, very big, and I suggest that try to go to Geeta Ashram of Canada. Lots of information are there, and I will join along with Kapoor Saab, Geeta Kiran ji, Peter ji, all of you next week on Thursday, and of course we will be seeing each other on Sunday morning. And don't forget Saturday, Columbia University, the Spirituality Conference, 9:30 Central Time, I think. So Kapoor Saab, sorry I will miss you all, but I will see you there. Yes, Krishna, thank you very much.
Yes.
Joshiji, just one correction. It's not Geeta Ashram of Canada. You do geetaashram.com. www.geetaashram.com. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm on your website right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Keep doing good things in the Pithu Paksha. Dr. Saab, you want to say something?
No, it's all right.
Saab, you want to say something?
That's all right.
Oh.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai
Thank
Shri
you,
Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.